Hi everyone, it's Teresa. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. How have you been? How was your week? Are you doing okay? I sure hope so. What are we doing today, Teresa? Well, today we're going to play with the oval loom. I was asked in a private message to please demonstrate how you work an oval loom. So today we're going to do that. The first thing that I like to do, and I suggest to do if you have an oval loom, since you can turn them around and get confused and not know where you started except for the lead yarn, is I want you to put a dot. Yep, just a little black dot. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. Right there. If you want, you can go right above that to let you know that it was where you start every time you start a project. We're going to let that dry for a minute, and then we're going to look at the instructions while that dries. That's my tip on the oval looms. I have to do the same thing for my rounds and so on and so forth. It just makes my life a lot easier knowing where I start rather than having to go by the lead yarn, because sometimes the lead yarn gets so long that you want to trim it, and I do that a lot too. So I'm kind of naughty like that. So what happens? So we're going to do the simple E-wrap cast on. It says the initial wrap of the loom is called the cast on. Hold the loom whichever way is most comfortable to you and leave a 12-inch end outside the loom to weave in later. The working yarn is the strand coming from the skein of yarn. We already know this. Wrap the yarn around any peg in a clockwise direction. So you're just going to constantly loop clockwise. Oh, this way, sorry. Ending at the inside of the loom behind the next peg. So you're going to just do this. So you're going to go front and back. Okay? And moving around the loom counterclockwise, which is what we're doing, and wrapping each peg with the same tension, E-wrap the next peg in a clockwise direction, ending at the inside of the loom and behind the next figure. So you're going to end it right there on the next one, rather than behind the first. So let's get started and see if we can make a mess of a complicated wording, shall we? The other tip that I have is I have yarn like this that I've had for quite some time that has fuzzies in it. And when I try a new loom out and practice patterns, I use the inexpensive skeins from Walmart. And this is one of them that I've used many times over to start a project, and then I'll tear the project down. As you're going to see, there's little bits of hair in it. That's why these never get sold and these never really lay around the house very long. I do them for a practice run. And if I like the item, I'll just remove all of the hair. So it said 12 inches, so we're going to go about there. Here we go. You're going to hold. Here we go. I have to check now because I think I made a mistake. See that? Let's see if we did. Wrap the initial loom cast on. Okay, so it says clockwise direction. So let's see how we're doing that. We had it wrong. Now we have it right. So you're just going to... Oops. My hands aren't doing very good, so I want you to see. I have a peg loom that is rectangular that does a little bit of the opposite winding. But that's okay. This is our first oval loom, if I can get my hands to cooperate today. Can you tell it's been a long week? You don't want to make these so tight that you can't move them over the peg or you break them off. That's something that you're just going to have to learn by feel. I can't describe anything on that. But you don't want to pop them up. See how these have kind of a nice little, you can move them like this? And sometimes they get a little tighter. That means you need to loosen your grip. Okay? Carrying on. What are we making? We're just going to do a test bunch right now. We're not going to make too much of anything until I really get down and dirty with it, which means I practice my tuchus off. See, my hands are getting tired holding it like that. So you're going to just watch me. Sometimes it works faster if you hold it back here than up in the air. And you're just going to work your way around. Your hands start to get in the motion after a while, and then you're like, ah, my heartbeat. I love to knit anyway. I just love to play. Oopsie poopsie. There we go. Then when we get this all wrapped up, literally, I'm going to set that yarn back there without falling on the floor in a bin of water. Move that there, because we're coming to the end here. Now we have our cast on stitch just about done. Can you believe we've done this? Look how far you've come in a short time, considering I started a blunder. I started a blunder from down under. Don't sing, Tarzan. Okay. No singing. I have to turn the loom now. My hands aren't too cooperative today, as you can tell. Oops, not two, Teresa. That's for down the road. So you're gonna go, hopefully you can see. See how that's there? You're gonna go behind, roll over, go behind, roll over. There you go. Now we're gonna do it again. So we've cast it on. What do we do now? Moving the loom, yep. Continue the loom. Pushing the loops down as far as you go. The yarn behind each peg should look like a cross. Just like that. You're going to cross over like a lock. I'll show you what it looks like in the book. Right there. Awesome sauce. Now, the first step of this stitch, which is just a knit stitch, is work the same way as the cast on. Continue work around the loom in a counterclockwise direction wrapping the pegs. Got it. So we do what we did before. You ready to do that? Let's get sassy. Let's have fun. Oh, look what we did. We took them off our loom. Oh no. That's okay. It's better than having them on your knitting needles. Oh boy. That makes me cranky. You're just gonna do what we've done before. See? Look at that hand motion. Look at that hand motion. And pull those down. Oops, we missed a stitch. We missed a stitch. You don't want to do that. There's a way to pick them up, but I don't want to. I'm gonna pull that down. Okay, here we go. We're on the road again, having fun with our friends. Singing a song, getting along, hearts are pounding happy. That's what I like to see, you with me on a Friday. Quit singing, Teresa, please, you're awful. I'm well aware. Fred Astaire's not my middle name, baby. I can dance, though, if I shake it really hard, but we don't want to discuss that. We're here to learn about some looming, so that's what we're doing. We're looming. This is the reason why I usually tend to get rid of that, because I can try to wrap that around it. That doesn't make for a pretty piece, my friends. And you're just going to keep going around. And going around. And going around. La-da-dum-da-dee. It's pretty, you see, it's fun. Gotta turn it again. You're just going to kind of keep reaching once you get to loopy-looped. Because once you get going, it's going to be really hard to see where you start and stop. That's why we did that. Now we have to take a break here. It says, since all of the pegs in a round are to be E-wrap knit, you can E-wrap all of the pegs at the same time. Then complete the stitches. I don't want to do that. Well, that's what we're doing anyway. Let's see. Well, using the loom to lift the bottom loop. Alright. We already know that because there's grooves. There's a groove here. You see that? And that's for your peg. So I'm going to pause and I will be right back and we'll have us some fun. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry for wiggling. This is going to be a little bit hard on my hands here. So when you go on, you're going to want to go where your last stitch was right here. As you can see, that was started there, and this one already has one on there. Now you're going to lift, go up over, go up over. This is going to be a little looser because it's our cast on. And then you're going to want to pull these down. Sorry if I'm out of frame there. Like that. Okay? It's just going to be one of those presses where you wrap and pull over. I am using a worsted weighted yarn. Not wasted. I gotta get that over there. Come on, hands. That's why you don't want to do too tight of stitches and you don't want to do too loose of stitches because you'll pop the whole thing over the side. Now we're going to tuck them down. Except for this one, because this one's not been locked on. I'm going to keep moving around. I know I'm wiggling. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy or nervous. It'll be fine. Like strawberries and wine. Now when I get this far, what I like to do is, since I'm having to hold this over here, I'll work on this, where I'm holding the locking stitch on. For our next round, I'll do a few rows this way. So I'll do the entire front of one side of the loom where I cast on. Because I'm having to hold this working yarn in place, and it makes it very difficult to turn the loom in your hands or on your lap. So like I said, I'll work it this way over till I get to where I want to round the bend, and then I'll go back to where it was. And I will explain that here in just a second. See? Now I can let this go because it's locked on. Before I was trying to pop all of them off. So my suggestion when you're doing a loom that's like this is to do this in fryer. Start over. Sorry for being excited and talking fast. To do the entire front this way and then work your way around so you can actually set it down and move your hands. I think that's easier. So then we'll carry on. Alright. Like I said, this is not the yarn for my project, but you know, I should have had something white out for you to see better, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? And you're just going to hook over. This is just a simple stocking knit stitch. It's just a simple one where you go around and around and around instead of purling your knitting. You don't want, if you do a knit purl, then you start to get all kinds of good stuffs, but that shows you how to do that. But like I said, we're just learning here, and we're going to move that to right there. So now we have more freedom to work. Okay? I'm going to do a few of these, then I'll stop for a bit, come back with a few million more rows, cast off, and give you your blessing. We'll be here for a bit, don't you worry. But you want to take the bottom over the top. It's called an interlock. Bottom over top. Get my hand stick locked right. Bottom over top. So you can tell my table surface is dirty. I can clean it off, no worries. Bottom over top. It's just marker anyway. Comes off with rubbing alcohol. I refuse to be stressed. Now what you want to do is go back so you don't pop these off and push them down. Do you see inside here? If I can get that so you can, yeah, now you can see. Now you're getting your stitches. It's beautiful work. You're doing wonderful. Yes, you are. Even if you're not an original fiber artist, but you want something to do fiddly with your hands without getting messy, and you say to yourself, well, I can make a bunch of scarves, hats, mittens, and things like that, this is the way to go. I find yarn work a really relaxing procedure for me. I can just quit thinking and not have to stress about the project. I'll follow a pattern, or I'll just develop my own pattern in my little brain, and then off I go. Sometimes those are the best ways to go. And they really, really are. Come here. And I'm going to pull this right over the top. And now I'm having an issue again, so what we're going to do is just go through and press it down. It's not a big deal at all, I promise. It's really not. So what I want to do is I want to take you around the second loop, because that's going to cause some confusion. And then we'll have more fun. We are done with our very first row. Sorry about that, I held it away from you, I'm sorry. We are done with our very first row. Now this is where it gets confusing. You're going to be like, well, I didn't do these. Yeah, you did. Here we go. Are you ready? So I'm going to go this way. And I push these down as I go along here, because they're trying to pull up on me. And that too. It's okay. You're just going to work around just like that. Okay, I have to pull my yarn out. Move that to the back, or to the side. You are doing wonderful. Like I said, you can do this. This is just one of the most easiest ways, if your hands give you problems like mine do, and you still want to touch yarn, to play. We are almost, we cornered our corner already. And we're talking a lot. You get your hands in a rhythm, they start to really pop through quickly. And rather than taking a month or two to do something, it'll take you basically a day or so. Depends on how constant you work at it. And I get that. I really do. I'm going to push these down. Because sometimes you need to walk away from a yarn project like you do when you're arting something. Well, yarn is an art, don't get me wrong. It's something that can take its toll on your brain if you don't give it the necessary due that is due, you know what I mean? And I have something, a lot more yarn, Teresa. So then you're just going to keep wrapping it around like that, and then I'm going to pull that right here. I have to hold this. See, there's going to be, hold it here. Come on, Teresa. And since that's got a lock on it, I'm going to work this over. So when you start here, just like when you're going into your knitting, whether you're increasing or decreasing, you're just going to keep going around. And what I want to do now is I just want to kind of come over where I have that locked. Because I can tell my hand's getting a bit tired of holding that working yarn. And now that I have those stitches locked on, I can move my hand a little freer. I work from left to right, right to left. Like I said, that working yarn can get really confusing. If you feel more comfortable following the instructions the way they are and you don't have a problem holding your working yarn without it popping off, you've been blessed, because I don't have that kind of luck. I really don't. So now we're going to come back over here and push that down. It's getting warm outside again, so just playing with yarn makes me sweat. It's kind of crazy. It was cool yesterday and warm again today. You hear that we're in for a long, cold, harsh winter with snow? Such is beauty. I can be at peace here at home and just relax without worrying about everything. Last winter was kind of rough. My dad wanted to go, and then he got sick, and it took him a while. So I'm going to pause here, continue this row, and then I'm going to do a bit more on my own, and then I will be back to show you how it turns out and to cast off. Alright, I will be right back. Alright everyone, we're back. Yay, you ready to see what we did so far? Now I'm not going to make anything really out of this. I'm just going to make a swatch on this and then put it in my yarn bin, so I know that this loom gives me, this is the inside, this is the outside, gives me this beautiful stocking knit stitch. Do you see that? That is absolutely beautiful, is it not? So let's bind off. Now you're going to say to yourself, what? Bind off? I'm kind of scared. You don't need to be. You're going to cut. I cut always more on this section here, because if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it about right here or so, about 2 foot, because you never know. I'm not making anything out of it, and I'm not trying to waste the yarn, but yeah, I definitely want to make sure that I have enough to cover my bases here. So you're going to cut your working yarn like that. Good job, by the way. And then you're going to insert it inside. I'm going to use the bigger one. They have different style of eyes on their needles, and I'm going to use the biggest one I've got because it's pretty thick yarn. See, these are the thinner. Yeah. It's pretty cool, I tell you. It's cool beans. Okay, Tracy, enough of that. And I use pencil storage for my stuff like this, my small hooks in it, and I put it in a bin because, you know, that's what I do. Alright, Teresa, enough. I'm getting tired, if you want to know the truth. Yes, I am. I thought about making this a full piece, but I don't know once I take it off if I've made mistakes or anything, and I don't want to waste any more yarn. So you're going to go right on through. Now I have the instructions here, and it says the technique is used to take circularly knitted projects off the loom by gathering the stitches together, and it is perfect for closing the gap of the top of the beanie. Okay, man. You say so. We got this. We can do this. I'm pulling it through to make sure I don't create a hole. Nope, it worked. I just wanted to make sure. So you're going to come right up through, and you're going to make sure that you have your needle of yarn right there. I'm trying to show you this, I'm sorry. So you're going to right through like this with your yarn, pop that off, then slide the rest of your yarn right on through. Now you can adjust this as tight as you want, as loose as you want. You're just going to make a little run stitch. I like this cast off. This is fun. The other ones that I have, they make you use the hook and they get complicated. I have fuzz everywhere. Ooh, I am digging that so far. I've not used this, I've not practiced with this, so we're going to do this together, and if we failed, high five. We'll just keep practicing. But I don't think we failed too very bad. I'm trying to find the right angle that's going to make it easy for you and easy for me. So let's try it this way. That works. We're running like a well-oiled machine now, aren't we? Yeah. Alright. I bragged. Man. I bragged. There we go. There you go. That was scary stuff. Was it not scary? It was scary. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm liking it. I'm liking it because the other ones make you do one over. It's a long story and do it at the same time to close it. It's crazy. Let me get this out of my way because it's trying to loop around it. And we want to finish this together. We started it, let's finish it together. This didn't take very long to make. I just had dinner and that I wanted to do. and you're always going to go from the outside in, because this is the wrong way. This is the outer part is the right way. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry for pulling it towards me. I'm not trying to. I'm being Bretty Cephas's on that. I'm glad I took off what I did, or we wouldn't have been able to hook on through. That's some craziness. Back in frame, back in frame. It's moving all over. Let me pause here a second. I'm not going to literally pause. I'm hitting things. I apologize for that. And put this down. That will help. Oh, it's going to help you see too. Who knew? I'm going to clean my table this weekend. I can't hardly think with it the way that it is. Alright, you ready for more? Alrighty then, Teresa. You show us how common it'll be. Whatever, Teresa. And just kind of, I like to keep a handle on one end of the yarn because I do that with the weaved in. This will be great for making sleeves. Now I know you can make sweaters on these as well as socks, so maybe I'll make a pair of socks. I think that would be cool right there. Oh yes I do. I think it would be super califragilistic. Oh, that would be awesome, don't you know so? I really do. That's just the way I see it. Put right over. Okay, now we're getting in the rhythm. It's fairly simple tie off. You just put a needle in, pull up over the peg, and just put your yarn through it. See that? It's beautiful. It's smashing, darling. And come right over this and pull that right through there. See, we're doing it loosely so that when we gather it, or if we gather it, it won't be a problem, but we'll probably gather it. That's no big deal. We're just showing you the simple way to bind off. We're almost done. Almost is not quite there yet, Teresa. I know. It's moving right along though, isn't it? I realize, there are a lot of you that, like, this isn't my thing. I understand. But one day, if you're out there and you see something in a garage sale or in a thrift store, and you're like, that's $1. Just give it a shot. You've got skills now. Because I've shown you how to do this. Yes, I have. Oh, I like it. It's different. Make a cool collar or something, I don't know. I'm not worried about what we're making. I'm just worried about getting it off the peg. Loom. And just sweep on up and over. Oh no, Teresa. Don't worry about that. That's why I use the large needle. If I had the smaller one, we'd have frayed it worse than we're doing now. For the godly goodness of nature above, I don't understand why things want to fight me. It happens when you're using old yarn. It's a worsted weight yarn too, so I'm not going to really worry about it too very much. We're just classy and sassy and yarning away. We're having fun, fun, fun on a Friday. Friday! Alright, I'm going to come right here, pull up, and come over. Up, and over. Boy, my heart's starting to really go. I know. Anything sewing related makes me just zone out. I take after my grandma, my mom's mom, that way. That woman could knit and crochet things you've never seen before. Her favorite was crocheting because it was easy on her hands. I can understand that. It looks like I have to pause. And like I said, it gets caught in things. And I'm going to be right back. Okay? Be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's have more fun. I had to put the charger on it For some reason, I didn't charge it last night. I was naughty. And I had to clean the memory card off. That's always fun. We do that a lot around here, Teresa. Yes, we do, love. Yes, we do. I'm headed for a rainy weekend. Yay, peaceful. Sleepy, sleepy. Not really. I want to clean this room pretty good. I've got stuff driving me crazy everywhere. That happens. When you art, and I haven't cleaned this room in 2 weeks, that's why. My floor is, yeah, not packages, but it has items like paint bottle. They're a medium out on the set on the floor, and it's not fun. Break your booty walking in here. Oh, look at that. We are literally getting close to being done. This has got to be the most fun way to cast off of a peg loom that I've ever seen. We're going to use the Martha Stewart loom as well. Weaving loom. I love to play with stuff. Gadgets are my thing. Fine little chicken wings. Yep, fine little chicken wings. And just kind of up and over. Up and over. Now we're in a rhythm. This is fun. It's so relaxing. It is too relaxing. Way too relaxing. I'm kind of wanting to fall asleep on you. Well, don't do that, Teresa. I know. I know. Okay. Keep moving. I get quiet. I'm sorry. This puts me in the zone, and I'm just like zoned out. That doesn't ever happen, Teresa. I love fabric too. It's a great way to wind little fabric pieces. I should do this in fabric strips on me. See what we can do with that. Oh no! We caught it. Don't worry. If you pick up a stitch, let's say this was a drop stitch, off your peg, you just twist it and then pull it back over like that, and you're just fine. Yeah, I've done that on this. We have the last one in. Let's get rid of the loom. Alright, let's see what we have here. Well, looky there. That's pretty. Let's gather it up. Here, we made a little hat. Heck, we made a skirt. We'll have to put this on a doll. I don't have a doll. Anyway, if you get curled ends like this, the best way to do that is to take your iron with anything that you knit or crochet and lock the stitches. So before you even attempt to make that nice and flat, or gather, I'm trying to say, pull that through like that, and then iron this down and lock your stitches, and you'll be just fine. Boy, that makes my skin look glowy white. But yeah, look at that. That's my first time in front of you and in front of myself and all in the room. God and the angels that have used that loom, and we've done a beautiful job. Can you see that? Look at how perfect you are. Look at that. Bravo on you. Walmart has them, loves. If Walmart doesn't have it, I'm pretty sure that Joann's and Michael's and I don't know, Hobby Lobby might have them too. I'm going to pull that off. I don't need that anymore. So now let's gather it up. A little too much gather there. Pull it around. Yeah, that'll make a perfectly fine little hat. Once it was longer. And you put a little boo-boo on there. Pom-pom's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we made something out of that. That's pretty cool. Could be a cute little skirt for your Christmas tree too. You'll have to weave your looms in, or your looms. Yeah, I told you it's been a long day so far. I'm so sorry. You'll have to weave your ends in. I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. Anyway, you just kind of go around and weave in or do a whip stitch or whatever you'd like to do. There are different ways to bind off, as well as to make sure that you blend in your item on the side. But I did go a little tight, and that could also be the reason why it's curling when I went on the loom itself. I haven't loomed in a while, and that's why I went really tight on the stitches, but this just turned out absolutely gorgeous. So I'm not going to put this in a knot or anything, but I think what I will do is I'm going to finish it with a crochet up here and round the dome with a crochet. I think that would make a gorgeous hat between the knitting and the crochet. I think that would be just beautiful, and a pom-pom on top, and you have you a big old girl hat. Space for my bun would be about right there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning how to do a little bit of oval looming. I definitely had fun. Like I said, I'm just going to untuck this. Pull it back here so I don't knock the camera out. I'm going to untuck this. I'm going to fold this. And I will come back to this and make something else out of it, because I really like the way that looks. So thank you for coming along on something different, something really fun. And we're going to do a lot of all kinds of stuff. I like to keep it nice and different and, you know, inspire you in different ways. So bless me be in your life, bless me be on your journey. Thank you for blessing me with your presence. I want you to stay classy. I want you to stay sassy, but most of all, I want you to stay you. Much love and many hugs, my sweets, okay? And I'll see you Monday for some more fun. Bye for now.